Well, here we are, 60th anniversary of the first Spider-Man Superman crossover. And look who's writing the crossover for Marvel.
Marvel called me, and it was right when the Fantastic Four movie was coming out last summer. And I get this call from Nick Lowe at Marvel, and he's like, "Hey, I got this project." I'm like, "Nick, I love you. I got a book coming out in January. I'm working on Ghost Machine stuff and our comic book First Ghost that's going to be coming out at the end of the summer. There's just nothing I can possibly, I don't have the physical time. We got kids' books going." And he says, "You want to do Spider-Man, Superman?" And there, that's the end of the call. That's it. There's no way I was going to say no to that. I've been waiting 50 years to write that book.
These are two really different heroes. I mean, not just their ages, but where they're coming from, the backgrounds, everything. Um, so yeah, I mean, how is it coordinating a team up between these two very different heroes?
Yeah, I think for me, what I always looked at is what's the core of the character? What do you want to say here? And oddly, in my novels, I don't figure that out until the end because in a 400-page novel, I need to kind of spend those 2 years with the characters, and then I can kind of see the theme when I'm done and be like, I know what the plot is, I know what I want the theme to be, but inevitably there's other stuff that I'm putting in that's going in with my life. But comics are different for me. Comics are the one place where I think because they're contained, and especially in this case because it's one issue, I really did not want to start until it said something about these characters and who they are, and like you said, what they stand for. I mean, these characters are not just characters; they're symbols, and they're proof of who we want to be. They're our aspirations, right? They're our fight and our kindness and our everything that we want to be as people. In writing Superman, Spider-Man, you're living the debate, right? You're like, okay, who is Spider-Man's greatest villain that will pair up with a Lex Luthor? And what is the actual thing that you should do here? And, what is the difference in being a good person when it comes to Superman versus being a good person when it comes to Spider-Man? One built, obviously, on the love of his parents, and one that's really built on guilt, right? On loss, on tragedy. And I know it suddenly already starts sounding like very navel gazy, right? But we love in comics to navel gaze. I love pulling apart these characters and figuring out what is the emotional underpinning, and what ties them together. What do they have in common? What do they completely disagree on? And you're gonna see.